How does it feel knowing that tomorrow is your last official game as a basketball player?
Ask me that again, because it's really sinking in now. Say it again. No, no one said that to me before. As tomorrow being my last official game, it's emotional. It's also, I've been out of the game for a couple of years now, so it's also, I feel kind of complete that I get to do it with my brothers and sisters. It's a blessing in disguise that I left Taipans without announcing anything, and then I get this opportunity to come here and make this my last game is something that I think fills my cup and feels much more complete, I guess. For my people, I want to give back. I want to be represented by the young ones coming through now. Obviously, I'm leaving the game now, and it's my last official game tomorrow. So like I said, it's a bit emotional, but it's also a thank you to all the people who supported me through the ups and downs and who are still currently here to support me. So yeah, it's a bit emotional, kind of mixed feelings. So I don't know how to take it tomorrow, we'll see. It's been an incredible journey from my part. Obviously leaving from Bamiga was probably the first kind of challenge, leaving mum and dad in the community, two cans, but then all of the things happened really quickly for me. Well, I started with 16, 10, 17, so leaving Bamiga, was tough for a community kid. A lot of people don't experience what it's like growing up in the community, but the start of my journey was a whole new world for me. New to basketball, didn't really know how to play the game. Went to Cairns, and that was tough, because English is my second language. I'm walking bare feet in Bamiga, going to school bare feet. So the start of my career was probably one of the toughest moments because I had to I had to learn a lot of new aspect in life, I guess, saying like leaving the community, small community life to a bigger scale, going from Cairns to Canberra, where it's going from cold. I'm from hot to cold was probably the toughest one. So the start was huge adversity for me. And then obviously going to Canberra at the AIS was also tough. Like I said, the weather environment changed for me. And then away from mum and dad, away from my friends, had to adjust to Marty Clark, which was really tough at the time back then, but was a great father figure for me and a few other boys that we built our relationship to till today with Paddy, Joe, Tyson. So that was really crucial for me because it did give me an idea about how to be a professional. I was probably second year in and it was a whole new world for me. So there was a lot of ups and downs, and more was more down because, it's hard when you're leaving a community that you're so used to and you're so close to everyone to outside world at that time where new friends, new environment. So that was tough, but I think it prepared me real well. I think Marty and Paul Goris that were there did a real good job with me and understand who I was and where I come from. I think kind of made it a bit easier for both of them and myself. And then obviously left for junior college, didn't really work out. That was a tough moment too. It was one of the time I had my major injury where I did my knee. And it kind of was hard in America. I was at Midland, Texas, junior college, and so that was a tough moment for me because didn't really have anyone. And you're in America, had surgery, first time going into surgery. Like I said again, mom and dad wasn't there. Didn't kind of really work out there. Came back, my knee wasn't really rehabbed well. And then had the opportunity to sign with Taipans, which kind of was all Aaron Fern, who gave me the opportunity to come in, and Alan Black that had the faith in me to come back and start my professional career, So I think that was a good decision for me to return home, because then I could kind of can find myself again, where I could be home, or closer to home, where mum and dad moved down and sacrificed their job to be around me there in Cairns, and kind of help me through that transition, you know. I think that was a kind of like a reset for me to go back and be around mum and dad, be home, be comfortable, and then my basketball kind of took the step forward, you know, with all the foundation that Aaron in my 2 years earlier, and then Trumadi and Paul Goris kind of showed a little bit, and then I started to have a good rookie season with the Cairns Taipans, and then everything changed for me there. Then again, I didn't really know that I was headed to NBA, or I had no idea. I was just happy to be, you know, playing in Cairns around family. And then I kind of got the attention a little bit, and I'm a kid who's always shy and didn't want the attention. And I started getting scouts coming out, and kind of did believe it a little bit, but I didn't really believe it more until I got to the back end of the season, 2006-7 season, if I'm correct. I didn't really think I was going to get drafted, to be honest with you. And then I kind of shied away from it. I didn't know if I really wanted to do it. And I did it. And I think with that, it's where I sit down now and I think back where basketball really changed for me as a person and who I was. And it got me to kind of open my eyes and see what it's all about, because I was no one, and then I started getting all this attention, and it was tough because I didn't really know how to handle it. I was still shy, and I didn't really want to do it. I remember before I had to start working out for the NBA draft, I went back home, and I didn't want to return. And Fernie was calling me like, "Where are you? When are you coming back?" And the funny thing is, I came back after the break from Taipans, before I had to get ready to go to the NBA draft. I came back out of shape. So that was one of the toughest moments where I had to really knuckle down if I really wanted to do it. So Fernie had a good chat with me if I want to take it serious, or if I don't want to take it serious. And that's where it kind of changed for me. So I had to go get on this strict diet, and that was tough. And then once I got drafted, and then it was just another layer up, you know. It's just like a lot of other people starting to reach out to me like, I'm this, I'm that, you know. And like I said before, basketball kind of really put an eye out for me where I know who's genuine and who's not. And I think that's one of the things I really took out of it, is like who people really care for you and who really doesn't care for you. And there's a lot. And I think I'm grateful for this game for that. So along the ways, I've kind of started to filter out people that, you know, I wish I could have done early in my career, but I could tell as the older I got, I couldn't have seen it, like, you know, who was there, who wasn't there, who's here for the fun, who's here for Nate, and that's what I'm more grateful about my journey, you know. It's taught me to be real and to see who's real and who really cares about you. And I think if that didn't happen, I don't know what would have been for me, you know. That's the toughest part, you know. That's what basketball gave me, you know. Then I was into the NBA, first Indigenous, and I didn't sit well with me at the time. It was probably just more shocked. I'm in a different world. Like I said before, from 800 people, and I'm proud from where I come from. And to New York on draft day was pretty surreal, but like I said again, everything happened so quick. I didn't have the time to sit down and really reflect. And even through my career, I didn't look back to think, oh, okay, I was the first one. It didn't really matter for me because I'm not the guy who really strive with the attention. But the older I got and the more basketball has shown me a pathway to what I want to do, you know, it's sinking in a little bit, and that's why I'm so happy about where I am today and what I have coming in my next chapter. And yeah, I just want to give back to the community and give back to the younger generation. And yeah, it's basketball has really given me a lot, so I can't stress that enough. You know, it's you see the basketball and you think it's just the basketball. You know what I mean? Like, you hold the orange ball, and the orange ball took me from a little community around the world and back here today, where I get to kind of celebrate and thank everybody who supported me throughout my journey, and get to end it with my brothers and sisters here. So yeah, I think one of my most proud moments was throughout my whole career. It wouldn't be a moment, I say, it would be the part of my career, would be AIS. You know, because if not for AIS, Australian Institute of Sports, I don't think I'll be the person I am today. Because like I said before, and I keep telling everyone, like, it's moving from a little town to somewhere else, it's daunting. Like, it's different. It's just a different feel. But the brothers and the connectivity, the brotherhood, it mended me as a person who I am today. I can name them all. With Tyson, Paddy, Adam Gibson. I mean, I can name all of them, but those are the boys who come to my head that made it enjoyable for me and made me kind of love the sports. Because at the start, you got to remember, I was brand new to basketball. I was more of a supporting rugby league and watching rugby league, and it's a strong rugby league community. But once I got to AIS, I started to love it, because I had connection with all the boys that were there, and they made it much easier for me. So that would probably be one of the moments in my career that I'll cherish forever. Cairns at the start was good. It was great, actually. I had a lot of veterans around me, and I had the faith of Alan Black, Fernie, Darnell Mee, and Rashad Tucker, and Larry Abney, and those guys, Aaron Gabo, Budnikov, and I was a puppy then. So, you know, they taught me a lot. That group was fun to be around, but the Perth Wildcats was probably one of the most proud moments that I've had in the NBL. Obviously winning the championship, but it's just another level. It's a great club. It's family orientated. Trevor Gleeson was huge for everybody on there. And all my teammates, Damien Martin and all that. I think that was where I really got to enjoy my NBL career. It was fun. It was just everybody in the group connected really well. And you play a lot, like I've played with a lot of teams, and it's the connectivity that I thrive for, when everybody gets together, have fun, play together. So Perth Wildcats was probably where I really, really enjoyed myself, and being coached by one of the best coaches in the league. It was tough. It was toughness. Like, it was really tough. That year was 2005, 6, 7, I think, I'm pretty sure, or 7, 8. 7, 8, right? 2007, 2008, I got drafted 2008. It was a tough league. You had bigs. You had Glenn Saville. You had Sam McKinnon. And that wasn't taken lightly on anyone. You had Pero Cameron. You had all these guys who played tough basketball, competitive, you know, coming in. And I remember like Sam McKinnon. I remember him the first time I played against him. Just so athletic, agile, and strong. Same with Pero Cameron. And it was tough. There was no easy basket, and it was kind of more structured, slow a little bit. Today's game's heaps faster, and a lot of threes. I wish I could have shot threes back in the days, but not everybody shooting them. But yeah, not a lot of threes. And I think it was more tougher brand basketball than it is today. More 7-footer guys who are just natural bigs, which made it easier for me, because I'm a natural big, you know. And coming towards my end of my career, I thought that's what I missed a lot. You could see this shift in the game where they kind of went away from the big. It was more pick and pop, pick and roll, and more finesse kind of stuff. When I played, it was all bully boy in the post, and that's where I thrived. When I got drafted in 2008, it was a bit roller coaster of emotions. It was happy, but I was only there with Aaron Fern again and Daniel Moldovan at the time, and it was just us at ESPN Zone. I was kind of speechless because I got drafted during an ad break, and I was sitting there, I said, oh, that's my name, you know, and I didn't really know I got drafted. It didn't kind of sink in with me until Daniel and Fernie congratulated me, and just the experience. I was all in awe because I've never been on TV like that before, especially in another country. I didn't know what to think, to be honest with you. Mum and dad and the family wasn't there, so I was straight on the phone with them. And as soon as I hung up, I remember I went for a walk around New York with Daniel and that, and they were like, oh man, you're an NBA player now. And I'm like, yeah, but not really sunk in yet. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, what just happened? My whole life changed. My phone was blowing up. I had to get on a private jet, I think it was. Yeah, it was a private jet to Toronto, and never been on one before. And staying in 5-star hotels. Never been, so that was an eye opener for me because never been into a 5-star hotel. I played in the NBL, but it's another level when you're in the States. And then Summer League, and just how basketball over there it's a tradition. Like, it's just everywhere. Wherever you go, there's basketball. Like, it's competitive. It's a different game. I was more hungrier to play Summer League than even going to the team. I wanted to go to Vegas and play, but at the time I was injured with a hip flexor strain, or tore muscle in my hip flexor, and I kind of was on limited minutes or limited practice time, and I didn't get to practice with the team. And then going into Vegas, then again, another city you see on TV. I'm sitting in Birmingham watching a movie, and you see Las Vegas, and then I'm there. So once I got there and seeing all the other teams and like 30 other teams and players, and the players that I worked out in the draft, and how I met them throughout all the workouts I gone, and where we're at now, was more probably relief, because we know where we belong now and what team we belong to. And I think that was kind of where it sunk in, and I was more happier and I enjoyed it, you know. But remember, I was still young. I was playing for Cairns 30 minutes a game. It was 48 minutes at the time. And heading into there not playing and then getting back to the NBA was kind of tough, but it made me hungry to want to play more, and I think that's why I went to Europe. So I think getting drafted and being the first Indigenous didn't really sink in, like I said before. I don't think it really sunk in, to be honest with you, until a few years later someone said to me, you know, you're the first Indigenous, and I was like, what? You know, am I really? I didn't really know basketball that well. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. But I think the tide changed to me realizing that I did something special when I went to Europe, and also different culture. You know, culture is something that I value a lot. So when I got over there, and people kind of realized, oh, you're the Indigenous guy that got drafted first. And not only the effect that people in Australia know, but people in Spain, they knew a lot. Like, oh, you're the first Australian Indigenous to be drafted. So I think that was pretty cool when someone from another country said that to me. Yeah, when I got drafted and I was in the league, I think I was the only one until Pat got drafted. And at that time, with Paddy being there, kind of made me feel comfortable, you know, because there's another Aussie in the NBA. But to see all the guys that are there now is incredible. Like, it's something that I don't support any NBA team, but I'd watch an Aussie on an NBA team any day. You know, all the young guys are coming through. I was in camp with Dante and Ben and seeing them on that stage. You know, you kind of want to sit back and think about, like, all of them. If they were in the NBA when I was there, I think I would have been much more comfortable, because I had my countrymen there that you know I could really rely on, like I had Pat with. And Bogues was in there too. Sorry, I wasn't the only one, but Bogues was in there, and I didn't really know Bogues that well until we got to the Boomers camp. But to see all the Aussies in there and to see all the potential coming through, I mean, Australian basketball has a bright future, you know. It's just shows what program we are as if the NBL product playing right now and what we could produce here, and even with the Boomers program, and that to give guys the opportunity to showcase their talent and get to the NBA is the right track, I guess. So yeah. IBA. You know, people don't really understand how much it is, how much it means to me and all my brothers and sisters that are here today, wearing this uniform. Thinking back, you didn't have players that you could form a team to have these, you know, at a national level. You didn't have Indigenous National Basketball State Tournament like what Pat held. And he's done an incredible job putting this platform for our mob to come behind us and be able to showcase their talent. So for me, wearing this jersey, it's just, I'm glad I done it before I'm finished. I know it's my last game tomorrow. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do this with the boys that I'm running up with tomorrow, that look up to me and ask me for advice, that I get to still do it for the one last time. Don't have that. We never had that. I never had someone in front of me. I didn't have Uncle Danny giving us advice because we didn't have this. So being able to be here today and wearing this jersey is telling that what Pat's put down is the right path moving forward for our mob. You know, our brothers and sisters that want to be where they want to be with basketball. Because if we've had this, when I was 16 or 17 years old, to come here as a raw kid playing basketball, who wouldn't know what happened? So for me, I guess I won't take this for granted, and I always enjoy coming back. You know, I was probably retired like 3 years ago. And once I got called to play in this game, I was like, that's probably a dumb question. Yes, I'll do it. So people don't know that being around us as one mob, you just have this special connection where we laugh, we joke, and to have that now with them is something that I didn't think I would have when I was first starting playing basketball. So yeah, I'm lucky to be here sitting, being able to share my story with the kids that are playing and play alongside them, you know, because we do have talent that are out there that we need the next Patty Mills or myself, and this is a great start. And yeah, I'm proud to represent my mob and thankful for Pat and Uncle Benny and Auntie Yvonne to put this incredible event on. My advice would be, like I said in that huddle, don't take it for granted. I remember the day I started first playing basketball like it was yesterday. It happens real quick. I'm content where I'm at now, and what I was doing back then, I'm happy, and I'm happy the way everything planned out, like I said before. So don't take it for granted, you know. These things are in place for a reason. Embrace it. Get to know your identity. Get to know who you're representing. It's your family, it's our mob, it's the state, it's the country. This sport's so powerful that it could change your life, like it did with me. So don't take it for granted. I think that would be my biggest message out there for them. What's next for me? I still want to be connected with basketball. Obviously, it's done a lot for me, and I think it's time to give back to Birmingham, to the community, to all my mob and the Indigenous communities and everyone, you know, with my journey where I've went, and I think I decided to start a foundation, especially around being healthy. So I called it Thurgai and Zugu, which is the consolation star from my group, my clan back home, Debao. And it's a foundation where I want to go out there and talk about healthy lifestyles and also coach basketball at the same time. And it's not all going to be just basketball, it's going to be everything just in life in general. to get the kids that are missing out in communities, because I'm a community boy and I'm a proud community boy. I want to go back into all the communities that I could reach from Queensland to NT and give them at least a light or an opportunity to get out of the community, or get them out of just a community syndrome where you could open up your spectrum and you can head out and have different life skills. And I think with Kane Ellis and the AMS, with Tyson again, to have the program Healthy Deadly Kids is something that I will start on, because it's a school-based program. And I think starting there would be a great starting point for my foundation. So I'm very fortunate and lucky that Kane has blessed me with this program. So yeah, I'll be rolling that out with my foundation, and yeah, hopefully I could touch more lives and give back and be an inspiration to all the young kids that are up and coming, even in basketball, education or whatnot. So I think that's what's next for me. People ask me about coaching or and all that, but I think I have a different purpose, which is reaching a young kid's life and giving them that opportunity, like Uncle Danny did to me when I first started. So Tega and Zugub, it came from my cousin actually, and my uncles. We were sitting down at home, and it's a constellation star that we have in our clan group. It's called Tega and Zugub, and my journey, I've been all over the world and coming back home now and to do my own foundation, and that's what represents me. That's the star that we look at, the constellation that we look at, and that represents us and me. Yeah, me and my cousin sat there and was like, yeah, that's pretty much who I am. And then we called our uncle, and he was like, yep, that sounds great. And then, there's a lot of protocols that you need to do. So I called all the elders back home and gave me the blessing to use the name. It means a lot to me. It's because that's my identity, that's who I am. And that's what I want to do now. I want to go out there and give back for someone else to be their own star, where they can head out in life and head out in the world and figure out what they want in life. You don't have to be a basketball player. You don't have to be a doctor, whatever you want to do, and you put your mind to it, it could happen. So that's why I kind of got the name from. Kind of does represent who I am, or it does represent who I am. So, I'm grateful for having family that supports me, and kind of give me those ideas. You can always bounce ideas through them, and yeah, we came up with that name, and yeah, it's special.